everybody. I am up early this morning to finish a project that I started yesterday morning. Yesterday got very busy, and before I knew it, it was time for me to crash on the couch, and that's exactly what I did. I gave a little, I guess a little spin on preparing the potatoes for today's dish yesterday, and today I'm going to finish it out and put the whole video together, and I hope you enjoy it. Coming to you today from Threshold Homestead. Today I'm going to be making or finishing up the project of cheesy potato soup. So I hope that it turns out okay, that I haven't prolonged the project too long, and that you guys can learn something that is a fun dish to make. It's quick, it's hearty, and it's so comforting. So I hope you enjoy it today. And I hope you all have a blessed day. Hey guys, this recipe is very, very similar to the recipe that I make for the mac and cheese, or the sauce that I make for mac and cheese. So I'm going to just be getting this onion ready. I've got most everything else ready, and so I'll keep going with this. And I'm just going to dice up this onion because it just, you know, when you go ahead and saute your onion with your butter, when it's melting, it just adds so much flavor. And for those of you who do not like the strong taste of raw onions, and you've never just tasted what onions taste like, if they are sauteed or grilled, I would encourage you to try them again. It does, I mean, you still taste the onion, but it just has that savory goodness about it when it's sauteed or grilled or even roasted, for that matter. So what I would encourage you to, give it another try. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and stick these in the pan that I have, or the pot, because I do a lot of one-pot cooking. I don't like to wash dishes. When I'm preparing food, I try to wash as I go so that I don't have quite so much when we sit down to eat, and then finish up, and then afterwards. Yeah, I'd rather not have a lot to do afterwards. Okay, we've got our onion in here, and I'm gonna go ahead, I've got about 2 tablespoons of butter here, and I'm just gonna put into the pan, straight from the dish, and there we go. And I already have another. And I like to keep some butter in a dish on my counter or near my stove, because I never know when I might get in the mood to start cooking something, and I don't want to have to stick my butter in the microwave. It just doesn't get the right consistency for me, and I like for it to be ready when I'm ready. Okay, so I'm going to turn this oven on, or the stovetop on, to a medium heat and let this get started. I'm going to get a spoon and a spatula. Okay, and you're just going to let that heat up, and when all of this gets to going, you're going to look for those onions to get just kind of clear looking or translucent, as if you could look through them if you were thinking you might want to do that, but just clear and translucent looking, and then it'll be ready to add the next ingredients. We'll come back when that is ready. Okay guys, I am grating up some cheese. And this cheese is an extra sharp cheese for my sauce. And I like an extra sharp bite to my cheesy potato soup. Of course, it's going to be made milder because of the milk in the recipe. So that's why I used an extra sharp. Oh, it smells so good in here with that smell of the onions. Okay, these onions are about to get to the point that I like them. Just soft, and just be careful that the onions do not burn. You don't want burnt onions in your soup. If there's any big chunks in there, I like to, at this stage, go ahead and make them smaller. That's about it right there. We're starting to get to the point that we need to add something else. So I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. And the next thing that we're going to add will be the 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And this is gluten-free flour so that I will be able to eat it. So just going to sprinkle that in with the butter and the onions. Just kind of get it sprinkled all the way around. And you want this to just kind of stir it. Get it incorporated with the butter. You don't want it to turn brown unless you want your soup to be brown. Sometimes you just can't help it, but just make sure that it's all stirred in, no lumps. Okay guys, the next thing I'm going to put in is 1 tablespoon of my ground mustard, just because I like that flavor. You're going to see me use that a lot. And I've got some garlic powder here. And just stir that up real good. Just try to make sure you don't see any kind of lumps other than the onion. See, you might be able to see better too. Okay, now that looks good. I'm going to start next with putting my milk in, and I will just put in a couple cups first and stir that in. See how that goes. I'm gonna switch to a spatula, silicone spatula, because pretty soon I'm gonna put in my cheese. And just keep stirring this. It'll thicken up as the milk gets heated up. Let that go. I'm always making a mess. Okay. Oh, I better put this away. I'll keep using it. Try to keep this moving. Excuse me. Go and grab my cup of coffee. That's good. I'm already on my second cup today. Tell them what kind of day it's going to be. I've got a lot on my plate. It's a Saturday morning, but I've got a lot of work to do. Guys, I looked at the weather forecast for next week. It's gonna be interesting, that's for sure. I think Tuesday next week, the low is going to be 19 degrees Fahrenheit. Whew, mercy. Cup. I think this is my fourth cup. I just want to get plenty in there. Okay, I'm gonna go with 5 cups, I think. Okay, just keep stirring. And now I'm gonna bump that heat back up and watch it carefully. Once this milk comes up to temperature and starts steaming, then it will thicken up. Okay guys, can you see that steam? This sauce is starting to thicken up, and that is what we want. And it can take, you know, if you go at it slowly, it's gonna take a little while, but be patient and just stir. You don't have to keep stirring at this point, but once it thickens up to the level that you want, you're gonna want to stir it because it'll stick to the bottom. You don't want burnt sauce. Now this, guys, I just wanted to remind everyone that if you don't like onions, you don't have to put onions in it. Make this dish your own, and you want to cook when you're cooking, and when you're going to the expense of buying the ingredients to cook good, savory, comfort foods, make it something that you know that you and your family will eat and enjoy. That's what I do. You know, when I think about comfort foods or savory foods, the comfort part to me is how it connects me to memories that I've experienced in the past. with my children, you know, other times that I've cooked this recipe and how they enjoyed them or their friends enjoyed them. You know, that just all comes rushing back when I prepare these foods again. But it also takes me back further to my former generations, my mom, her mom, and her mom's mom. So just, that's the comfort, guys, is the fact that, you know, memories, good memories, bring warmness to your soul. And that's what I want for my future generations. I want to prepare these videos so that they can carry this forward. You know, my children will see this video and they'll remember that I made this when they were growing up, and their friends will remember it. Evidently, I didn't know that impact was even there. But that's what I hope for these videos, is that it will be carried forward. All of you watching and your generations will see the comfort and the love that was put forth by going the extra mile and preparing these foods from scratch, homemade in your home. And, you know, if you guys start making some of these dishes, your children are going to be impacted by it, and their children are going to be impacted by it. And we know that in the days that we live now, you know, there's so much that is going on that could be negative. Let's do a little positive. And once in a while, you know, we think about, what are my children going to think about their past when they grow up with everything that they're being exposed to or experiencing? Well, yeah, sure, there are going to be some negative remembering memories in their past, but what's important is that the good memories will far surpass the bad memories. They just will, and that's what's going to get them through the days of their lives. And guys, I've got some bacon in the oven. I'll grab it real quick. It's ready. I didn't expect it to be ready so soon. Okay guys, I think this is about as creamy as I want it to be before adding the cheese. I'm going to go ahead and add the cheese now. Okay. Again, I'm estimating this is about 1 cup. About 2 cups. And about 3 cups. And I'm going to stir this up. Get it good and melted. See how it just really thickened up there? Now I'm going to turn the temp down. All that cheesy goodness right there. All of it. Stir it very well. Keep scrubbing the bottom of that pan so nothing burns. Because if you let it scorch, you're going to have scorched pieces all throughout your soup. And my potatoes, I don't think I mentioned, but they're over in the crock pot. They're still hot. Now it's the same thing as the pasta. When you add anything to the soup, it needs to be warm or at least close to the temperature of your mixture here, your sauce. So that's good and incorporated. Got everything off the bottom. And now I'm gonna add the potatoes. Now I'm being very careful not to mix up my spoons here, because the spoon that I'm using to stir my potatoes, I don't want any milk products or dairy products to go in it, because my daughter is having to go dairy-free, all kind of freeze while she's nursing her son. And so I'm gonna try to make her a non-dairy version of this soup. I'm gonna try, but that'll be later. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move my pot over here. See what we can get. I don't need this anymore. Not right now anyway. Gotta be careful. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna start scooping my potatoes in here. Stir that. And as you can see, I've already cross-contaminated. When you're dealing with people who have food allergies or having to take things out of their diet because the other people they're feeding, you have to be very careful. No cross-contamination. Whereas with me, I am gluten-free, so I get to enjoy this dish. I didn't get to enjoy the macaroni because I didn't have any gluten-free noodles at the time. Now, I think that's a lot of potatoes in there. It's plenty of potatoes. Now, this is thickened up quite a bit. If you want to thin it up any, you can, and as it cooks on simmer for just a little while, if you want to thin it up, just put another pot on and bring some milk up to the same temperature, or water. If you want to thin it with water, you can do that. I'm probably going to take some of this potato water and put in here and thin this up just a little. But whatever you do, if you add liquid to this at this point, you need to make sure it's at the same temperature or maybe a little warmer. Get some of this potato soup. See, you've got to be careful. Very careful. Okay guys, I've got my cheesy potato soup here. And I'm gonna add a few things to it and make it even better. I'm gonna add a little more of that sharp cheese on top. And it's gonna go everywhere. Maybe a little more than that. So I want a good stack right here. And then I'm going to add some bacon to the top of that. Good bit of bacon. Okay, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of rosemary. I love rosemary, and I like it in my savory dishes. Okay, now we're going to try it and see what it tastes like. Okay guys, I've got my soup here and I'm gonna try it for you guys right here. I That's good stuff. That bacon, that little extra cheese, and that rosemary. Guys, it's been great fixing this dish for you guys, and I hope that you will try it. I hope that you will make memories that will last a lifetime and beyond. But I hope that as you enjoy it, you're surrounded by family and you get to share stories from your past and how your past made you who you are today, and how who you are today will affect who you become in the future. I hope you have a great day. God bless you all.